It's always fucking something. So we can't have nice things. No. How about now? Now we're good. Wow, imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine that. All right. Did I ask you to turn on? Did I ask you to turn on? No, I did not. No one asked you. I mean, come on, man.
What the boy up?
I think I'm gonna use that for my next next intro to the video. Oh man, so I tried some feature on Streamlabs, and the feature was to be able to output regular and then to a vertical platform. But the problem was when I did that, like Streamlabs went fucking crazy, and like all my my memes came up. You know?
Is this you talking or the liquor?
Like all that came up, so it was like bombarded, damn near crashed the system. So I turned the setting back off, and then next thing you know, it's only outputting 30 frames per second, which is the frame rate that it was trying to output to on the vertical. So basically, even though I turned vertical off, the system still hadn't turned it off. So, yeah, that's what it was. I had to restart my system. I force closed Streamlabs, by the way, with Task Manager. That wasn't enough. Tivio, hello, my friend. How's it doing? I think the first mistake of Benny was to ban you. Well, no, I'm pretty sure Benny's made mistakes before that. I don't think that was a fair banning. I didn't do anything wrong. I literally just read out what he had said, and I disagreed with his statements, you know? But when you're the benevolent dictator in charge of your own Discord, because as they continue to remind everyone this is their Discord, you know, they do what they want. Dark USX, hello, my friend. How's it going? Welcome. Why do you think Gala been quiet lately? Gala quiet in what way, my friend? As in, are you talking about the price, or are you talking about what exactly are you talking about? Because with a legal, you know, the lawsuit going on, they shouldn't be talking about much. Bitbender hasn't been around. Well, obviously he's busy running an empire. Dark US. That's pretty important. He's been busy running an empire. They really didn't quite see banning since 3 days. Well, if you looked at all the filings, TiVo, excuse me, there's a lot here, right? So I'm sure that takes a lot of effort to get that live and get that going. There's a lot. So, you know, maybe guys, maybe, let's just be optimistic here. Maybe they saw my video commenting on the official Gala statement where they say they're not going to publicly speak on anything, and then they realized that they were publicly speaking on things and that maybe they shouldn't do that anymore. Maybe they got a little friendly suggestion from your boy, the Stash. Maybe. Just maybe. Let's see. Official Gala statement. Let's see. JJ, why does Benefactor send Jason millions of dollars of Gala to Jason's Binance account? Well, that's what we've got to ask, right, my friends? So, JJ, hopefully we're going to get into all the stuff that got released today. Well, actually, technically yesterday. I'm behind. I'd like to go over it on stream with you guys, come up with my thoughts, and then also post a video about it this morning. I'm going to try and get that out before I go to class. I've got about 6 hours before I have to go to class, so if I stream for about 4.5, 5, then I can get the video out before I leave for class, and then when I come back from class, I can stream Townstar. JJ, Dark USA, TiVo, Greedy Gains. I hope you're all doing well. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and just let's just go ahead and let's just relive. Let's relive some of our favorite moments, shall we? Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and go do that, shall we? So, now, Benefactor, I know you don't like me, and I know you don't like anything I have to say, but here's some friendly advice. A, you should listen to your legal counsel and shut the fuck up. Maybe they listened to me. Maybe they listened to me and they shut the fuck up. JJ, why is Bitbender's wife treasurer and president of Gala? This was not a mistake, as Jason alleged. I saw the company paper. Eric just signed us paper appointments. Yes. So, JJ, I am going to be doing a video on Bitbender. That was actually supposed to be Monday, which was yesterday, but then they had the freeze paperwork came out, so I did that instead. Optimistically, I'm going to get this video out tomorrow, which would mean I can get the Bitbender one out Thursday. So that's my hope. That's my hope. Because it's really, I have one question. Now, just to give you guys a little spoiler alert, because I appreciate you being here, and I hope you're doing well, of course, as always. We're gonna call the clerk's office that took that paperwork in and ask them how they do that. And I'm gonna give you a spoiler warning because I know this information before I call them. All the clerk's office does is take the paperwork, look at it, make sure all the forms are filled out appropriately, all the lines are filled in. They make sure that the payment is given for that paperwork, and then they stamp it and they file it. They do not check for accuracy, which means that Benefactor signed Bitbender's wife as the treasurer and secretary, that it was not a clerical mistake, and then later Jesse signed Bitbender's wife as the president, treasurer, and secretary, also changing the address that was listed on file. So both of those three documents, all three of those documents were filled out by Gala and submitted by Gala. So it is not a clerical error. So again, my spoiler alert, my question to Bitbender is, why is your wife's name on these documents? Question mark. Why? Why isn't it my name on those documents? Why isn't it Benefactor's mother's name on the documents? Why isn't it the 7 other billion people on the planet? Why is Bitbender's wife's name on those documents? And you can maybe think about, well, they were probably doing some. You ready?
Obfuscatory
tactics here. Now, I'm not a legal expert, nor am I a financial expert, but JJ, I think you hit the nail on the head. That's what it would seem like when you look at all the other scams that are out there in the crypto industry. A lot of the guys use their wives. Now, Bitbender doesn't have, Benefactor doesn't have a wife, to my knowledge, so that would explain why the number 8 person in the company's wife was listed. Maybe nobody else had a wife. I don't know. But yeah, it's a simple question. And really why it becomes so important is because Bitbender, while he keeps attesting he has nothing to do with this lawsuit, he is listed in a $600 million lawsuit. So yes, it does have something to do with him. So again, that's why it seems like this has been in our face this whole time, and we just blew it off as a clerical error. Greedy Game says, Benny and the Jets. Eric Tamayo, hello, my friend. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Their thinking is crowded by greed. That's why they don't think straight. Eric Tamayo, hope you're doing well, my friend. Yes. Yes. I think that's been quite clear for a long time now. When they stopped focusing on games and started focusing on building an empire and taking this to the moon, right? That's not what you told us this company was about. So let's dig in. I'm gonna stop patting myself on the ass, but we'll listen to it again. We'll listen to it again just because it's fucking. I'm just so fucking good at my job. So now, Benefactor, I know you don't like me, and I know you don't like anything I have to say, but here's some friendly advice. A, you should listen to your legal counsel and shut the fuck up. There you go. There you go. Y'all can clip that, send that to Benny. Clip that and send that to old Benny and the Jets. All right. Dark US, bro, I've been pointing this shit out for years, man. For years. But I'm a hater, you know? Someone called me a douchebag in the Reddit, and I laughed because I don't think I've ever been called a douchebag before. I think I've been called an asshole plenty of times, but never a douchebag. So that was a first, I think. So whoever it was in Reddit, shout out to calling me a douchebag. You might be the first person, that, to my knowledge, that's ever called me that. You know, as I've attested time and time again, all I really care about is the community. And I think objectively, regardless of how you feel about anything I've said or me or any of the people in question in these lawsuits, none of this helps the community. This is all a negative for the community. Now, there could be positive that comes out of it. Positive to come out of it would be that we get rid of all these fucking snakes and greedifying people and actually take the company over with people that actually care about games and care about the community. So, B-Rob, wait, the lawyer wrote that to you? What you talking about, B-Rob? What lawyer wrote what? No. What you're seeing on screen, this was Gala's official, stance. This is the official statement from Gala Games. This was the video I did on 4 days ago. Excuse me. The official statement from Gala Games. So we go into it. Basically, Wright Thurston filed first. So immediately this statement's incorrect, and then we talk about the 600 million in the original thing that Wright Thurston filed to prove that it is indeed something he filed previously and was about to sue Benny, but then they pulled back because they went into mediation. And then from there, they say they're not going to have any public comments. And then I proceed to show all the public comments that they've been making. And we joke about Benny being all in. He talks about being all in. We talk about Classic Games being a shill. And look at Benny's wallet, and he has no Gala in it because he's all in. And show them talking about the lawsuit. Benny wants you to know all these things. And then talks about stakeholders and stuff like that. Anyway, so got that up. You can check that out later. She just seems just as willful ignorant as them. Well, here's the thing, B-Rob. Also, apparently Blake is a female, by the way. I don't know. I don't know any of these people personally, right? They're lawyers, right? They're attorneys, whatever. They got to speak legalese, right? I always call it legalese, right? It's legal language, right? But you know, they're probably paid to say that. Do you want to go over the all in? Because we can go over the all in. We can go in. We can go into all in. Oh, we can go all in. We can go all in. We can go all in, baby. Let's go all in. Team stakeholders apprised of development. Wouldn't you know, Classic Games, by the way, I don't know Classic Games, but he's a paid shill for Gala. Notice that he's the first prominent post on here, and he posts the Etherscan link. You know what? Let's click on it. You might notice something, paid shill for Gala. By the way, my comment, chef's kiss, I know they're paying you to simp, but come on, man, this looks ridiculous. Gala, notice that he's the first prominent post on here, and he posts the Etherscan link. You know what? Let's click on it. You might notice something a little interesting. I want to apologize to everybody. These past handful of videos, for some reason, have been uploading at 720p because I was editing 1080p down to 720p. So they're blurry as fuck, and I'm sorry. I'm going to have to re-upload them, and I'll probably just do it in a batch. I'll probably just re-upload them all in 1080p. I'm going to have to upscale it to 1080p because I think I deleted the originals like a dumbass. But I'll see. I may still have the originals. Let's see if I have the originals still. But yeah, I realize that, and I'm sorry. Thing about this. He's only got 56,000 Gala in there. Huh. I thought he was all in. Oh, wait, he's withdrawing? Oh, I might be able to upload him to. I might be able to get him up to 1080p.
We got 2 million Gala deposited, and then he sold all of it. Doesn't seem very all in to me. Would you say benefactor? Wouldn't you say?
Who's that? Who's that handsome guy? Where is he, over here? What is this? Who's this? Who's this guy? Who's this sexy man right there?
Well, we're gonna get into his nodes in another video. That's a whole nother can of worms. But yeah, he's getting roasted because he's only got 56,000 of his token when he gets more than that per day from each of his nodes. But again, we'll go into that later. Zeta, I know you're like on the payroll, but come on, man, that's ridiculous.
He says you should put a jet in a mystery box. Like, don't get me wrong. I think the jet's hilarious. I do, because thanks to Greedy Games, we got Benny and the Jets, right? But at the same time, it's fucking like, why does Benny need a private jet, right?
He's getting roasted in the comments, but my favorite part is I thought you would have had millions of Gala coins instead, just over 56K. So, yeah, that was on the 4th. Today is the 7th, soon to be.
That said, he should have the biggest wallet around. Okay, so this was. Shout out to TiVo for the sub on YouTube. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. That jump scared the shit out of me, by the way. This was brought up when I went on Faz Radios. You guys need to check that out, by the way. It was like a 5-hour talk. We went on Faz Radio. And we just had a good old discussion. But Benefactor is not minting. He's not minting his daily rewards, right? His daily rewards are staying in the treasure chest, which to me isn't a good thing, because now we don't know how much he has, A, and B, if he wanted to mint all that and then sell it, he could, and that would be who knows how much. Because if we go look at what his daily distribution is, which tab is that? By the way, guys, if you want to do me a favor, if one of you wants to support me, I would love to get this game dev royalty-free music. You know I play music during the stream. You can hear it. You can hear it right now. I play music during the stream because it keeps it, you know, nice and interesting. It's $20. It all goes to charity. I'll go halfsies with somebody. This is my one plug for what if you want to help me out. That's all I ask. Someone can buy it and send it to me. All right, I'm gonna end up buying it. I got 5.5 days left. I'm just I do have a new job, but let's be honest. I'm pinching pennies here, baby. Daddy's pinching. Daddy owes everybody a lot of money. Okay. All right. So look, here's the distribution reward information, right? Okay. Look how much Gala he's getting per day. Look at how much Gala he's getting per day. You want me to zoom in for you? I'll zoom in for you, my sexy little babies. Zoom in. Zoom in. He's getting 3.1 million Gala a day. 3.1 million Gala a day. 3.1 million Gala a day. Let me say it again. 3.1 million Gala a day. Now look at what he has minted in his wallet. He's got 56,000. Do you see the problem with that? He's getting 3 million Gala a day, but he's only got 56 in his fucking wallet. Right? That's where the issue is.
Yeah. That was
why does he have Town Coin? Because he believes in Town. He's all in on Town. Greedy Gains.
On the 4th. Today is the 7th.
He's just hiding the inflation of circulating supply. Yeah. Well, that's a great point. You know what he should do? And this is we'll go big screen. If you guys want to clip this also and send to Benefactor, you guys can clip this, okay? 3, 2, 1. Hey, Benefactor, how about this? How about you mint all the gala you've got in your treasure chest? First of all, show us how much you've got. Then mint it all. And then, after you mint it, burn it. Why don't you do that? Why don't you show the community that you're really all in? That's what I think you should do. But what do I know? I'm just a guy with a mustache.
To be the 8th, so he hasn't added any more gala to his account. So wherever his distributions are going, clearly are not going into this account. All in. And then, wait.
He only burns Right Thurston's tokens.
Unable to view this tweet. Wait. Oh, Bitbender blocked me on Twitter. Oh no, Bitbender, why'd you
block me on Twitter? Oh no. All right. Crank it up, baby. Send this to Bitbender too.
What the boy up?
All right, so circling back, crank the music up. Boom. Oh, this is a good song too. Shout out to Sand King. This is from Sand King. You know what Sand King is. All right, so these are all what's been supported. Now, what I was looking up before my stream went to shit. Okay, we're gonna make this smaller. Get this out the way. All right. I got so many tabs. All right, so this is all the documents. We're gonna get in a second, but there's still 2 more I was trying to find. No, I don't need this one. Minimize that one. There it is. Okay, found it. Okay, 25-page document. No, document number 25 page. It's 44 pages. Excuse 2 pages. Right. Let's see. Rob says he said they will burn with the V2 upgrade, which is clear now that it was a FU to Thurston. It does seem that way, doesn't it? All right. So this is one of the pages. Let's go ahead and download this. I don't want you to see all my dirty stuff. Sorry, guys. I got to keep my dirty stuff. We're going to call this motion. This is a notice. So this has nothing to do with Thurston. That's why. Notice of supplemental exhibit. All right. All right. So this is Benny to Thurston, right? And Benny, on behalf of blockchain, submits the attached Exhibit A to clarify and supplement the relevant record of the motion. Okay, so this wasn't terribly important, but I wanted it anyway. Okay. Exhibit A is 44 pages. What do we have that's 44 pages? I know we've got something that's 44 pages, don't we? Or is that Exhibit A? Maybe that's what it was. What's this one? Exhibit 1 through 14, 30 pages. Okay, these are a bunch of exhibits. Okay. We'll wait on that because we want to get to Thurston stuff now. All right. So, filed and entered on 9/11 memorandum in opposition to the motion. Okay. So, this is 150. This is 55 pages. And this is a summation of the motion, okay? Actually, no, I take this back. This is not. This is the full kit and caboodle. Wow, how many pages is this? 222. Okay, so this is the big dog. This is memo to opposition. All right, let's look at this. All right, so opposition to the motion to freeze assets for an accounting and for expedited discovery. Okay, so this is basically, I am in the way. Let me move me out the way. Give me a second. Let me get my ass out of here. Let me get on out of here. Get me out of here. All right. There we go. Okay. So, introduction. Benefactor's central claim, the alleged theft of Gala assets in the form of Gala token by Thurston, rests on a single fact that the evidence clearly refutes. Benny has alleged that Gala tokens were removed from a corporate treasury that never existed. In the 2021 calendar year, when the alleged diversion took place, BGP's own tax return, signed by Benefactor in October, showed that BGP held about $300,000 worth of Gala at the beginning of 2021, and none at the end of the year. That's interesting. Schirmeyer signed the BGP tax return knowing that any material misstatement could subject him to felony prosecution. If the false allegations of Thurston diverting Gala tokens from the corporate treasury were true, there would still have been billions of Gala remaining, yet Schirmeyer himself declared there was none. Very interesting. Similarly, BGP had a corporate valuation done by a third party in March of 2022. At that time, the third party indicated that BGP had accumulated approximately 500 million Gala tokens among BGP's numerous other holdings of cryptocurrencies, not the roughly 10 billion that would have been present had Benny's fictional story about a treasury been true. I love it. I love it. It's so juicy. It's so juicy. Let me move this over real quick. Also, let's move this guy over. Let's go. By the way, I'm gonna go ahead and crack open a drink because this is so fucking good. Let's go. I suggest you do the same. Stay hydrated, my friends. Excuse me. All right. Oh, you know what time it is. Let's go. Ooh, baby. Ooh.
Julian.
That's how I'm gonna be feeling today, baby.
Is this you talking or the liquor?
Randy.
I am the liquor. All right. Let's rock and roll. Benny's fabrication of a corporate treasury that forms the foundation of Benny's claims, coupled with little more than false smears of Thurston, stands in stark contrast to the publicly available evidence that Benny intentionally destroyed billions of Gala token in May 2023 over Thurston's objections and with no permission, this is important, no permission from the board of directors of BGP. Such destruction of so extraordinary, destroying approximately 600 million of value, that numerous exchanges that had hosted Gala tokens for purchase and sale immediately delisted Gala's token as a result. Summary of argument. 3 months ago, Thurston, one of the two directors of nominal party Blockchain Games, demanded that BGP's other director and company president, Benny, cease using BGP assets for personal benefit and return to following basic corporate governance procedures, such as obtaining explicit board or shareholder approval before taking corporate action. Apparently believing the adage, the best defense is a good offense, Benny responded by making incredible, unsubstantiated, and false allegations of theft that led to this lawsuit and the motion for temporary restraining order seeking to freeze assets of 979 unidentified third parties based on alleged actions, in which Benefactor himself participated. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that in the freeze video, that I'm pretty sure they all do this, right? That took place more than 2.5 years ago. There is no support for the motion. It should be denied. Schirmeyer has not established and cannot establish even one of the 4 elements necessary to obtain the extraordinary relief of a TRO. Instead, the inescapable facts establish that the alleged theft was simply moving Gala, a cryptocurrency, controlled by Thurston from one wallet to another. Benefactor knew Thurston had moved the gala when it occurred, and Benefactor himself took custody of his share, and then he did the exact same thing 2 months later. So if they can prove this, that nullifies what Benny is alleging. Let's go ahead and we're gonna highlight that. Okay. The gala transferred by Thurston was earned by and belonged to True North, the entity that Thurston manages on behalf of his heirs. Just like the majority of the gala Benny transferred was earned by and belonged to Benny. There is no evidence to support the claim that gala moved by Thurston and Schermeyer belonged to BGP Treasury. There is no such treasury. No treasury was created in the founding documents. So that's important. If they can prove that this was never officially done, then that would also negate the question. JJ says, does that mean Benefactor lied to the IRS? I don't know. That's why this is so juicy, right? That's why it's so juicy. That's why it's so juicy. Ooh, it's juicy. It's juicy. I love it. This is great. You know why? Because I was right. That's why. All right. The possibility of creating a treasury was never brought to, let alone approved by, the board of directors or shareholders of BGP. So if they can prove that there was no treasury, that in effect would nullify the argument of Benny that there was a treasury and that Thurston stole from it. There is no smart contract, a digital contract that automatically moves digital assets according to software code, governing its creation, the amounts authorized to be deposited in the treasury, or the terms and conditions of its use, all of which would be common, if not necessary, preconditions to the creation of a treasury and a decentralized, transparent blockchain company like BGP. I find this word usage hilarious because, let's be honest, they're not doing very much of any of this, right? They're not doing much of any of this, right? Right? Are we being honest here? We're being honest with ourselves? They ain't transparent worth the fuck. Also, BGP does not own any nodes, the vehicles through which new Gala is minted and distributed among the Gala community. Right, well, BGP itself doesn't, but the directors do, right? Further, the billions of Gala Benny now claims belong to the BGP treasury are not reflected anywhere in official corporate documents. So this again is what's interesting, right? They more than likely could have had a gentleman's agreement to have all these wallets and put Gala in there, right? They could have 100% had that. But if there's no official board/shareholder approved motion to do such a thing, then Thurston's correct. There is no precedent for this trade. Even if it really is the fucking treasury, like if that literally is what they were using it for, if there's no official document of that or approval by the shareholders, then Thurston's argument that Benefactor is acting, crazy, it holds up. Now, one thing I did want to mention when I looked at Gala on Etherscan, you can now see that there is a Gala Games Reserve. So they put a public tag on this. Now they want to call it the Reserve wallet, right? But we've looked at this before. We've looked at this page, and we've seen out of the top 15 wallets, at least 10 of them belong to Gala, and Gala had the wallet with the most in it. It had billions of Gala in a particular wallet. So we know that was happening, and it was now all of a sudden they're trying to make it transparent. Oh, this is the Reserve wallet, right? Okay, sure. It's too little, too late now, right? They've already, we already established all these issues. All right, the tokens do not appear in any tax return, so that's. So this is why I say this is getting dirty, right? Because if we're gonna start mentioning taxes, well, now guess who gets to get involved? Our old friend, the IRS. So if Benefactor's name's on it, just like Benefactor's name is on the document saying that Bitbender's wife is the whatchamacallit, where the hell is it? Here it is. Okay, just like this is Benefactor's signature, right? And it even says DocuSigned by Eric Schermeyer, which means which means he was not there when this was submitted, right? If he DocuSigned this, that means that this was done electronically, and then this form was sent to the Wyoming Secretary of State, to which point they checked to make sure everything was where it needed to be. They received payment for the filing, and they filed it. So benefactor's name is on this. Benefactor did this. This is on benefactor. The question, again, why is Bitbender's wife the one on here, right? That's the question we all want to know. Dark US says, check Discord. No problem. Done. All right, back to the video. Got you, Dark. All right. So, BGP is not only nodes. Here we are. So this we're gonna highlight this too. The tokens do not appear on any tax. So let's assume that Benny's right. Let's just say benefactor is right, and Thurston did take all of this out of the company treasury. Okay, if Thurston can prove that there was no documentation on taxes, that these were company assets, you're looking at tax fraud right there, my boys. That's not good. That's not good at all. They do not appear at either of the two 409A valuations BGP prepared by independent business valuation experts in 2021 and 2022. So this is again mentioning that the coins were showing up nowhere in the valuation of Gala Games. Notwithstanding the fact that if the Gala truly belonged in the fictitious treasury, it would have amounted to hundreds of millions of dollars and would have been BGP's most valuable asset. The Gala does not appear in those records because, again, there never was a treasury. This was an intentional and informed decision by the founders based in large part on advice from attorneys retained to provide guidance in this issue. So they're saying they made this up and that the lawyers told them to do it. So now they're throwing the lawyers under the bus. That's even better, right? Throw your lawyers under the bus. Shout out. Thank you very much, Dark. I appreciate you. Dark got the bundle, so thank you, my brother. Appreciate it. I'm going to download those and try and get them on stream tomorrow. I'm going to need a new hard drive. That's where I'm at now. I upgraded from a 1 terabyte to a 2 terabyte main drive. I'm going to have to get me some more. I did buy it's pretty cool. Let me show you real quick what I bought. Asus PCIe M.2. Yeah, I bought this, so I'll be able to put 4 M.2 drives in my computer now, easily. So it basically just sits in a PCIe slot, and I can attach multiple M.2 drives. So I'll be able to put as many as I want, and it's got heat sinks and a fan and shit. Plus, it looks cool. So that way I can have all this music going, because I got stuff USB connected right now, and it acts up all the time. All right. Gala Games. Let's look at that. Let's look at this price, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. So this is where, this right here, this shelf is where the whales were playing around. They were like, okay, we're going to buy low. And then they tried to help, but my God, it's not good. It's not good. It's no good. It's no good. It's no good. Harold Barreto, hello, my friend. How are you doing? I have won this SSD. You have that card, Harold? I have it in my classroom because I was showing my students expansion cards and M.2. So I don't have it here to show you, but I do have it. I have 3 M.2 on my motherboard, and then I have these. I don't know if you can see this. I have this. It's an external M.2 drive, but it has issues. Connection issues every now and then. So I wanted to get something better, and here we are. So, Harold, you got it? Awesome, man. How do you like it? To be honest, I was surprised how little there were like that. I was surprised there wasn't more of those out there. All right. So, they don't appear. The gala does not appear in the records again because there never was a treasury. This is intentional, and it's the lawyers who made them do it. If BGP mined and sold gala directly to the public, it would have significantly increased the risk that the gala distribution of gala as a digital token would be considered a securities transaction under the federal and state securities law. So this is interesting. He addresses the securities. Also, Harold, hope you're doing well, my friend. Good to see you. I have one ROG adapter assisting. Okay. I have seen that one too. Yeah. I wanted this one because it had 4. I can put 4 M.2s on there. So all I got to do is pop it open, pop it out, put a new M.2 in, slam it back in, and I'm good to go. Instead of having to take everything off to get to my motherboard, you know? Now this I'm not too familiar with, the securities law, right? But let's read it again. If Gala Games mined and sold Gala directly to the public, so basically like being an exchange, right? It would have significantly increased the risk that Gala distribution of Gala as a digital token would be considered a securities transaction under federal security laws, which we know they currently are not, they're not considered a security, right? Schermeyer's current claims are figments of his imagination, not claims on which he has established a substantial likelihood of success on the merits. Similarly, Benny provides no credible excuse for waiting 2.5 years to bring this emergency motion. So that's a good point. That's a good point. Well, I think we know what it was. He didn't want to crash the coin while the coin was at 50, 60, 70 cents. That's why. There is none. Benny, in addition to moving his own billions of Gala to his own wallets within months of Thurston doing so, knew simultaneously, as did anyone else who cared to look at the blockchain, that Thurston had moved his Gala to different wallets. Yet Schermeyer did nothing until Thurston sent a cease and desist letter in May of 2023. So this is interesting because we have Thurston initially filing a lawsuit in June, and we see in the Benny filing talking about the mediation between the two. So Thurston sent a cease and desist. Then he started drafting up the paperwork. They start going into mediation, and then he doesn't file, and now here we are. Benny never objected to the transfer. He made no demands. This is referencing 1. Okay, so we're gonna look at that in a second. He made no demands that Thurston return the alleged stolen Gala in any board meeting, of which there were several, or in any official capacity. He made no effort to secure the Gala and made no complaints internally or any law enforcement agency. So here's the thing. You have Bitbender attesting that he heard that it was stolen, and we're going to have to see what if these guys were being perjurous or not. He did nothing because the transfer was entirely consistent with his own actions and the fact that Gala was never BGP's to begin with. Benny now alleges that being held hostage by Thurston all this time, worried about any objection of his, would have caused Thurston to dump the Gala into the market, causing the market Gala to implode. This allegation, too, is unsupported and unbelievable. Had Thurston stolen nearly half of the 19 billion Gala held in some fictitious treasury over 2.5 years ago, a portion of which Benny alleges held a $130 million value, certainly there would be some actual contemporaneous evidence that individuals within the company were alarmed. There is none. The transfer was no theft. So again, we have to go back to the Frozen video, the Frozen document. I don't know where I have that one at. Where did I put that one? Oh, I know where it's at. Let's get the
Or obfuscatory.
obfuscatory. Let's see if we can find Benny. Okay, let's see. Let me see if I can get the Benny document up. Okay, that's these 9 ones. Okay, yeah. Okay, so we have Bitbender's declaration. Okay, where did I actually put these files at? That's the question. Did I put them in here? I know where I put them. I know where I put them. Excuse me a second. I know where I put them. Give me a second. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Here, so this is the filing, right? This is the motion to freeze. So we're going to open all these back up. Okay. There we go. Now we're cooking. All right. Okay, so in here, they mention that it was known, but let's look at Bitbender's declaration. I have knowledge of the facts set forth herein and completely testify thereto. I'm also familiar with the records of Gala. Okay. I received an email from Thurston attaching a document, Gala distribution nodes. Okay. He attached that as Exhibit 1. Online post about this. Restructuring proposal. Node owners voted on. Node owners. Okay. He's received an email. I started receiving this. Okay. Okay. So he says he wasn't aware that Thurston had any issues with the distribution reports. Okay. In the period leading up to September 20th, 20, the balance of Gala held in the central wallet approaches 20 billion tokens. This Gala came from the daily distribution of Gala to Gala Games, and also from the company's sales of items like Gala nodes. So September 2020, they had 20 billion tokens per Bitbender. As a security measure, Gala Games transferred about 19.9 billion tokens from this central wallet to dozens of other company-owned wallets. So this is how we were able to go on Etherscan and look at holders, and we saw that there was like, in the top 15, like 10 or 11 of them were for Gala. So that's this right here. This is, when did they say they did this? September 2020. So that would make sense if you looked at the timeline on the wallet. Okay. On behalf of Gala Games, I reported to market aggregators, blah, 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 circulating supply. Okay. We're looking for him saying that they talked about, okay, when I learned that the stolen Gala was moved into the Thurston wallets, I thought that the company's savings wallets had been hacked. I had to call Benny, Travis Allen, and Adam Price about the stolen Gala. I don't see these names here. So those guys did not file paperwork for Thurston. Okay. Stolen Gala represented more than the total amount of Gala in circulation if it had been sold. So they keep going to the fear mongering of if it had been sold, it would have been a problem, right? It wasn't sold. So there you go. So in just the last 2 weeks, Gala has been transferred from Thurston's Gala node wallet through an intermediary address, then through 2 pass-through addresses, and finally to a wallet on the OKX exchange. Okay. Well, let's we're gonna take a timeout from Thurston's. Let's see if we can find this. Okay. Let's see if we can find this. Let's pull up this. We know this is Benefactor's wallet right here at the top. Dark, you said, do you think founder nodes will be exposed due to lawsuit like forced KYC? Well, and that's the thing, Dark. In Bitbender's statement, in his exhibit, he has the distribution rewards, and they have all the private information blocked out. So I don't know. We know this is Benefactor's wallet, 5C5F. So this is Thurston's. Notice how it has 6988. Okay. So let's come here to Arkham. And $3 million a day, baby. $3 million a day. And that's the whole thing, right? $3 million a day, and he's not minting it. So who knows how many millions, possibly billions of unminted Gala that Benefactor has. Again, like I said earlier, you know what he should do to prove he's all in? Mint all that Gala and then burn it. That's what he should do. But he's not going to do that because Benefactor likes money. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. Currently, this wallet, so this wallet is Thurston's, okay? Based off of, and we know this based off of the nodes that he has, right? Unless somebody else has Thurston's nodes, this is Benny's nodes. Gala Gang burning 14,000 nodes. Also, shout out to Gala Gang for the $1. Appreciate you, my friend. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hope you're doing well, Gala Gang. Dark says, with just 2 years collected, that's over 2.1 billion Gala. Yes, but here's the thing. the pay rates are a little bit higher right now because of whatever they agreed on. So it's like $450 per node now, and it was lower previously. It was lower. I can show you. Shout out to the Gala Gang for the dollar super chat. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. That was a hell of a lag, too. Damn. All right. Here we go. Okay. So this video I never did a video on, but I've been meaning to do a video on it, and now I'm going to be forced to because it has crucial information that we need. We look at the distribution rewards. Okay, this distribution rewards are from 10 months ago. So 10 months ago, one node, what was the actual distribution? Did he show it?
In mind.
All right, here it is. One node, or let's actually look at the node.
This entire main.
Okay, 157. So one node got you 157. So it was 157 gala per day, and now it's 450. So he was getting 3 million gala a day, so he's probably getting a little over 1 million gala a day. Gala man, what's up, my friend? How you doing? We've had the new rewards for about a month, I think. Okay, so we can do the math on that. So 450 or 3 point whatever billion, 3 point what million a day. What is it? What's our number? 3.1 million a day times a month. You know? You want to calculate? You want to use the calculator? You want to do it? You want to do the calculations? You guys like math? 3161271 times 30. 94 million gallop. Gala Gang says, right and Benny get 2.3 billion gala in 1 year. Yep. Oh, listen. Math is fun. Okay. Times 12. 1.1 billion if the rate holds in a year. All right. So, where were we? Yes. This wallet has 59 town. So he got rid of all his town the other day. I know I looked at his wallet the other day and he got rid of all his town. He's got 3.163 million gala in his wallet, which sure looks like he's way more all in on gala than Benny is. That said, that looks like that's the exact amount of gala that he gets per day. So maybe he's pumping and dumping it every day. Let's see. He gets the gala and then he sells it, right? Okay. So let's look at visualize, because what does Bitbender allege? He says, I looked at his distribution wallet and he transfers it from his wallet to an intermediary address and then through 2 pass-through addresses and finally to a wallet on OKX. So we should see an intermediary wallet and then 2 pass-throughs and then OKX. Okay, so where are our big transactions? There's 1.5 million transfer right there. Let's sort by USD. All right, 2 years ago. I don't want 2 years ago. I want recently. Okay. So he got rid of all his town. He sent town to the null address. Okay. See, he sent all his town to the node address here. A lot of little small transactions there. I think that's the Gala wallet. Gala treasure chest. 4.3K. 1. I want to see token. Gala. Show me Gala. There we go. That is the correct address, is it not? Harold Bretto, with all that evidence, why they continue selling and have an active website? I don't know. I don't know, Harold. I don't know. People don't care. Okay, B84. Yeah. Just want to make sure I had the right one. Okay. Flow in. Okay. From the null address to him, right? He gets all this. It says it's worth 0. Three weeks ago. Flow out. He sends to this address. He sends to these addresses. Okay. That address sends there. This address sends where? He sends what here? $0, $0. What does he send here? To this address. That address goes what? Over here? Completely on its own. There's Genesis. So, transactions to Genesis. Right? Let's see. Where's that one at? It's just a clusterfuck, man. It's a clusterfuck. TiVo, I remember the post when Benny said, don't buy node. We are here to build game, not for ROI boys, and nodes around 80K. I saw people buying like 10 node at this price. Yeah, if we pull up this video, I can't verify what Benny's saying with this website. We'll try a different website. If we look at this video again, you can see that where are we? You can see he calculates out what they expected to make. Okay. Where is it? Okay, here we go. So this is this guy's calculating out, right? At the time of this video, 10 months ago, they had sold 42,879 nodes. Okay, the current price was 83,500. So approximately they made almost $544 million in node sales. Okay, which means the total nodes available for sale are 7121. So if they use their same pricing and sell those 7121, the average price would be 187,236. The final nodes would be sold for 276,000 each. They would have expected to get $1.3 billion off of those last 7,000 nodes, which is, well, frankly, a lot of money. I think we'd all agree. So they haven't sold that many, obviously, because nobody's going to pay 80,000, 90,000, 100,000 for nodes in a bear market. And certainly, hopefully not now with all these lawsuits, right? So there's that. All right. We're done with Bitbenders, but what's important about Bitbenders is that we don't see him saying that what he was alleging, that people were up in arms about it or whatever, right? Okay. So there's no evidence that individuals in the company were alarmed. There was no transfer, was no theft. Okay. So this was referenced earlier. The only reference to any actual communication between Benny and Thurston regarding the sale of Gala found on page 80 of the amended complaint. Yet even that reference is undated, vague, and based on the quotation not relevant to the issue alleged here. As it turns out, the message was apparently sent in December 2022, nearly 2 years after the transfer at issue here, and purports to be objection by Benny to Thurston selling Gala on Coinbase, which he claims was being watched by the community and was hurting the business. But neither Thurston nor True North had an account on Coinbase. He was not selling Gala on that platform, a point which was made in his response to Benny. And there is no indication whatsoever from the text that Benny is lodging a belated objection to the February 2021 transfer of Gala by Thurston. It is upon these thin reeds that Benny claims entitlement to billions of Gala. I love that. That he's standing on thin reeds. All right. Benny also has not established that money damages are not sufficient or that Thurston would not have the resources to pay any judgment should Schermeyer's fantasy come true. Gala is a cryptocurrency. It is traded on secondary markets It has a value that can be calculated and paid in fiat currency. The loss of Gala, even a lot of it, is compensable in monetary damages. What is more, despite Schermeyer's efforts to defame Thurston, there is no actual evidence that Thurston could not pay a damages award in the highly unlikely event that a judgment would be entered against him. In short, there is no imminent threat of irreparable injury that justifies imposition of a temporary restraining order. Dark, not to take away from this chat, but give us an honest opinion on the current state of Townstar. I used to play it about a year ago before P2 got removed. But all these FTs become an FT game. Dark, I am not happy with the current state of Townstar, and I haven't been for a long time now. Whoever's in charge of it, I think it's Q Sarah is what everybody keeps saying. They don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they've never played Townstar, but they clearly don't know how to play the game. And yes, Townstar has become a way for them to make weekly money because the whales keep buying the FTs that are extremely overpowered and also don't have any play to earn potential. So you're literally just buying them so that you can place in the top handful of ranks, which are the only ranks that actually give rewards that are worth your time. And it just continues on and on. They launched 2.0 in a broken state, far worse than Gala 1.0 was ever at, and then continued to put new content in the game instead of fixing all the issues and making Townstar 2.0 just as functional as Townstar 1.0. For example, when you sell something in Townstar 2.0, there's no trade timer. How hard is that to program in the game? Why is that not in the game? That's a simple thing that they don't have. You know? Townstar nodes, great example, Dark. That people that bought those, where'd that go, right? People that had nodes, I mean, I can't imagine spending that money and then they immediately turn it off, right? Like, that's bullshit right there too. Okay, so you could read this as Thurston's like, hey, I'll pay whatever money he wants, just don't take my Gala, right? You could read it as that. So, I don't know. We're a lot in the same boat, Dark. Yeah, we all are floating adrift on a little raft. The public interest and balance of the hardships factors also weigh heavily against the requested restraining order. Through this action, Benny seeks to freeze the assets of 979 different wallets through multiple VASPs. Neither Thurston nor True North own or control these wallets or the VASP which handle these transactions. They are owned and controlled by third parties entirely unrelated to the parties in this litigation. So he's alleging that all this research that Kroll did is incorrect. As such, neither the VASPs nor the owners of those wallets are before the court. Freezing the crypto bank accounts of hundreds of people without their knowledge or opportunity to be heard is against the public interest. Further, the hardship it could cause far outweighs the hardship Benny might endure waiting to see if he might recover anything on his claims. I don't like the idea of Gala freezing someone's assets, even if they are Thurston's or allegedly Thurston's and stolen, whatever. I don't like the idea of Gala being able to use the legal system to freeze someone's personal assets. To Thurston's point, they're not allegedly not his, and therefore you'd be freezing some random people's and stuff, right? Let's see if we can highlight that. Okay, we'll highlight that. Now, what's this at the bottom? In stark contrast to the claims in motion by Benny's own admission, BGP had destroyed the value of any True North's existing Gala, amounting to billions of Gala, though the admitted and intentional burning that he orchestrated in connection with the V2 Gala token upgrade discussed below. This burning is part of the factual basis for the claims brought by True North in its complaint against Benny and BGP. Green United and Wright Thurston moved to dismiss the SEC's complaint. On September 8, 2023, the district court heard the motion and agreed to dismiss the SEC's claim against Thurston with leave to amend and reserve ruling on the remainder of defendant's motion pending submission of further materials. So I didn't know this. So actually, as of now, the judge, the court moved to dismiss the SEC's claim on Green United. So that would be a victory for Thurston. Okay. Let me scoot this over because I feel like you guys can't see. Can y'all see? I feel like let's try this. There we go. Okay. Finally, Benny is not entitled to the relief he seeks because he comes to the court with unclean hands. Ooh, I like that line. Let's highlight that. Here we go. He has repeatedly refused to follow basic corporate governance principles, taking action with board or shareholder approval. He has usurped corporate opportunities such as creating companies to exploit BGP's business plans and intellectual property, but installed himself, not BGP, as the major BGP. Okay, so this is important. He's talking about Gala Music and Gala Film here, right? That Benny made that and just made him the person in charge and not BGP, which is what all of this is supposed to be. So what he's saying is BGP is both Benny and Thurston, right? And Benny, both of them use the BGP's assets to make Gala games, right? Then Benefactor used BGP assets to make Gala Music and Gala Film without permission from Thurston, is what it sounds like. What is worse, he has used BGP and shareholder resources for his own personal benefit, including to purchase real estate in such far-flung areas as Costa Rica and Hawaii. As these acts reveal, Schermeyer often acts for his own personal gain at the expense of BGP and its shareholders. Mic drop. JJ, judge moved to dismiss AC suit because Thurston reimbursed all green note owners, paying them a whole plus 7 Will Gallo make note owners hold? JJ, I didn't know that. If he paid his note owners, then I mean, good, right? That's what you want, right? That's what everybody wants from the Logan Paul, thing, is that he gets people back their money that they lost, right? Will Gallo make note holders old? No, they will not. They don't have the money. JJ, they don't have the money to make everybody whole. They spend it all on private jets. This case and this motion are yet further examples of that unfortunate fact. The court should not reward Benny unlawful behavior or granting him an extraordinary equitable relief. Benny's motion should be denied. Statement of facts. There we go. So now he's using statement of facts also because Benny's using statement of facts. Creation of Gala Games. BGP under the model of Gala Games is fully registered Wyoming corporation that owns a decentralized game platform. Proprietary is located website here. Run through a network of nodes. All right. One thing I think we've yet to see is the founders agreement. We haven't seen that yet. See founders agreement at 1. Okay, so there is we can finally get to see the founders agreement. That would be interesting. Which is basically saying that they are 50%. Okay. Now, they don't sell non-fungible tokens, so that's bullshit. That are stored in wallets controlled by node operators. Okay, well, not everybody that is a node operator, so that's weird. Explains a node. BGP specific design is centralized on nodes. Okay, so BGP does not own any nodes itself. All the node licenses are owned privately by node operators. Well, yes, but both of you have nodes, and you're the directors of BGP. Okay. Gala Games does not have any direct control of the blockchain. I don't know about that. It does not open any nodes and only Gala entities and not exercise voting control. The founders, though, own a large number. Yeah, here we go. Okay. And currently operate a small fraction. So they own a bunch and only operate a small fraction. They own a significant amount of Gala and FTs earned through the node operation. Well, I don't know about that. I don't know. You can exercise voting rights associated with their nodes. I don't think they should be able to exercise any voting rights, and I think you and I would agree on that. That they don't need to be voting, right? They don't need to be voting because they have that many nodes. This was the understanding in 2021. It reflects the reality. BGP by design owned no nodes and generate no Gala. Accordingly, since it owned no nodes and since it never generated its own Gala, no company treasury was ever required or created on account of the fundamental structure of the enterprise. Well, I mean, that seems like a bit silly, right? The Gala store wallet, right? That would, is that not a treasury of some sort? Notably, the same legal opinion discussed above verified the company's node-based structure was as a setup in such a way that it would not run afoul of the securities law and regulations. Consistent with that opinion, neither the board of directors nor the shareholders of BGP ever took up issue with it, let alone authorized the creation of a company treasury. Okay. There were never any board discussions, let alone resolutions authorizing a treasury or similar structure. Moreover, no sort contract. Okay. Okay. BGP was intended to operate and did operate based on revenue generated through node sales, in-game operations, and unnecessary additional contributions by shareholders. So they do have, and it's something else if you guys want to go find for me in the Discord, they've said that there's no venture capitalists that help the company. Well, clearly that's not true because they will accept additional capital contributions by shareholders. I'm pretty sure that's what you call a venture capitalist. Benny and Schermeyer partnered to integrate True North's blockchain technology with gaming software. So that's what it all boils down to, right? This is the big chutzpah right here. This is why Benny went in bed with someone who he alleges is a very bad person, because they needed True North's blockchain technology. BGP's base technology, node software, mining technology, blockchain referral network, and other blockchain-related assets, as well as the greater share of the financing, were contributed through True North and Thurston. Schermeyer provided BGP with understanding of mobile games, video game models, and experienced game staff. Okay. Early operations. They got the nodes consistent with the parties. Node sales opened up the public around February 2019, and the nodes individually owned by Thurston and Schermeyer started earning Gala in or about July 22. Okay, we're going to highlight that. All right. Consistent with their intent to not be a custodial blockchain, the coins were going into initial shared wallet to which they both had held private keys. This early practice, maintaining one wallet to stockpile Gala, made sense to both Thurston and Benny because Gala did not own any value initially. Blockchain projects have a few early adopters and thus do not hold value early on. Okay. But this practice did not change the understanding that they owned the Gala inside the nodes, and none of the nodes or rewards were owned by the company. Between July 2019 and 2020, approximately 25 billion Gala tokens were generated by all the nodes in the network. All right. Any Gala that was mined by node owners other than True North and Benny was deposited directly into their private wallets. Okay, that makes sense. As BGP's under technology improved, Benny and True North moved the business operations to the Ethereum blockchain. Around that time, BGP turned off the nodes it was hosting in its data center and enabled node owners to run the licensed software on their own computers. In about January 2021, Benny and Thurston made the decision to spread the Gala that had initially been maintained in a single wallet into 100 different wallets. They made this decision to spread the distribution among 100 wallets because Thurston and Benny realized that stockpile wallet posed a security risk because the company was growing and because they'd become valuable. Potential loss of tokens due to hacking would not impact. Okay, so then January 2021, they moved everything. Okay, acquisition of Sandbox distribution. So we breezed over this in the first video I did on this. But yeah, they bought Sandbox. Interesting. They separated about 8.6 of their billion Gala, independently owned, and True North moved its 8.6 to wallets it alone controlled. Benny moved his 8.6 several months later. April 21, the wallets which he held the keys. Benny also took control of remaining Gala NFTs, including those owned by True North and others, by separating them into wallets to which Benny alone held keys. So this is saying that following the distribution that resulted from BGP's acquisition of Sandbox, Thurston, Benny separated 8.6 out to wallets they each controlled. Then in April, Benny took control of all Gala and FTs by separating them into wallets to which Benny had the keys. So Benny knew about this movement then. Okay. Let's highlight that. This is important. Okay. They took 8.6 each. Okay. At no time, either during or after the distribution or the movement of True North's Gala to private wallets, did Benny or anyone else object to distribution was unlawful. Okay. At no time until Thurston sent Benny a cease and desist did Benny or any of the shareholder, director, officer, or agent of BGP make any claims or statements regarding missing company assets from a company treasury. Nor could they, as BGP is a decentralized organization that has never owned its own nodes, never generated its own Gala, nor created or owned its own treasury. Okay. He keeps reiterating that because I think that's the crux of his argument, right? There is no treasury for him to steal from. BGP has followed generally accepted accounting principles since its inception, and accordingly all the company's assets were and continue to be listed on its accounting and tax documents. No treasury is depicted among BGP's assets. For instance, BGP did not claim to have a 22 billion Gala treasury, or even the 13 billion Gala that would have remained after the True North transfer if such treasury existed, on its 2021 and 2022 tax returns signed on behalf by Benny. That's huge. If they can prove this, then that's not good. It's not good. It's not good. Okay. In contrast to the straightforward legal movement and subsequent use of True North's earned gala, Benny has been engaging in numerous actions that were ultra-vires and detrimental to BGP and its shareholders. Actions accomplished without the prerequisite BGP board or shareholder vote and approval, including True North's vote. For example, over at least the last 12 months, Benny has exercised unilateral control over the operations, assets, and profits of BGP. During that time, Benny has flouted BGP's founding and charter documents and covertly acted in engaging transactions on behalf of BGP, has used BGP's assets and earnings, often for his own personal benefit, without the consent. So they've said that before, and that's important. For example, Benny caused BGP to send millions of dollars of cryptocurrency to Jason Brink. Ooh! Good old bitbender, huh? Caused BGP to distribute valuable FTs to himself and select BGP employees without board or share approved. By design, those should have been... Yeah, we've seen these before. Misappropriated millions of dollars of BGP funds, including using company funds for buying or renting real estate, personal use, transferring company assets to his own name, or the names of entities that he owns or controls, using company funds to hire architects, construction companies, and designers for personal real estate. So he's making these claims, right? But if he can prove this, right? I don't see any proof right here. But if he can prove this... If he can prove this, that's big. That's big. Most egregiously, and as admitted by Schermeyer himself, he, without disclosure to, authorization, or oversight by the board, directed BGP to replace all Gala tokens on a one-to-one basis with a new version called V2, referred to as an upgrade. BGP announced that they would be upgraded automatically. Contrary to the public's announcement, Benny did not cause BGP to upgrade all the tokens. Rather, Benny directed BGP to refrain from replacing billions of the V1 tokens held by True North and other shareholders. Deposit the replacement tokens to wallets controlled by Benny personally. Excuse me. All right. And then once again, this upgrade caused harm because Coinbase delisted them, which we all saw. In his own complaint, Benny admitted to the upgrade when burn was done to destroy all of True North's Gala in an effort to render that specific Gala useless, valueless. Benny explained that as a result of the burn, Thurston was left with obsolete Gala V1 tokens. So, Benny's admitting that he did it, right? Upon information and belief, or at the time, Benny caused BGP to burn billions of V tokens belonging to BGP shareholders, again without board approval, without the knowledge of our vote of the shareholders. In total, Benny caused BGP to burn around 21 billion Gala V2 tokens, including many replacement tokens belonging to BGP shareholders, including True North, all of which amounted to the destruction of about 600 million assets. Let's just highlight that part. And then explains what burning is. Also troubling is the fact that it's come to light Benny, directly or through Brink and Allen, have in recent months been steadily liquidating millions upon millions of dollars of Gala from the supposed treasury to fund corporate operations. See J. Miller Declaration. Okay, we're going to have to go look at that. We're going to have to go look at that. This activity is not potentially violates the federal securities law, but is likely causing substantial harm to the company, its holdings, and the value of Gala token. The very harm shareholders, Benny stopped them from taking any actions against theirs. Okay. This pattern of misappropriation, self-dealing, destruction is... he didn't mention the jet, though, so I don't know if the jet was true or not. Also, I didn't do this earlier. This is your hourly reminder, ladies and gentlemen, to do your coin supply, do your freebitcoin.io. Refresh your Brave browser, get your free cryptos while you still can before Benny freezes your assets. Before Benny freezes your assets, baby. Gotta watch out. Gotta watch out. He's always ready. The 10th Circuit requires the mobile internet. Excuse me. All right. This is establishing legal precedent about a temporary restraining order. Okay. Because the Movon has not provided specific facts showing an imminent and irreparable injury, we deny his motion for a temporary restraining order. So this was in reference to that case, okay? Because a temporary restraining order is an extraordinary remedy, the right to relief must be clear and unequivocal. Yeah, so I agree that the idea that Benny can, sick your lawyers on you to take your fund, I agree. Benny has fallen woefully short of establishing a clear and unequivocal right to his requested relief. In fact, he fails to establish even one of the required elements for obtaining a TRO. As discussed in DIABLO, he waited 2.5 years before seeking relief and has no credible excuse for the delay. He seeks to freeze assets based on alleged harm that is fully compensable in monetary damages. And he has failed to support his claim with the alleged theft of $8 billion gala with evidence necessary to establish a substantial likelihood of success on the merits. To the contrary, the sparse and self-serving evidence Benny relies on is more met by indisputable evidence, including tax returns. Yeah, this is really where they're going to get him, right? I feel like this is really where they're going to get him. If he's saying that these wallets were treasury, and he alleges all this value on them, but they're not in the tax returns, I feel like that's where that's huge. And then what is worse, Benny seeks to freeze assets of parties not before the court, and then arrives at the court with anything but clean hands. I love that. Dirty hands, baby. Okay, so they go into that he can't establish imminent threat or injury, basically because his delayed. The biggest thing here is that it's delayed, right? What else? Now claims it would have been held hostage. Okay. Excuse me. Benny claims to have been held hostage because the amount of gala over which Thurston exercised control would have doubled the amount of gala in circulation should he have decided to dump it. Thus, according to Benny, he was powerless to do anything but wait to see what Thurston did. This excuse is not credible. First, as Sharmire admits, 8.6 billion gala did not double the actual amount of gala in circulation. So he's getting him on a math technicality there. Look at that. It represented only a total of 25% of the then circulating gala. Benny then moved an equivalent amount into his own private wallets within 2 months of the transactions, about now which he complains. So if they can prove that, then yeah, that nullifies that immediate threat, doesn't it? Okay. Second, if Benny truly believed EGP was being held hostage, then surely there'd be some evidence of the fact other than vague, unsupported, after-the-fact declarations. Whereas a contemporaneous email, text, signal message, or other form of exchange between Benny and his employees, Brink and Allen, suggesting shock at the alleged theft or frustrating him after being held hostage. Whereas a contemporaneous communication with regulators about the alleged theft. Whereas a contemporaneous proof of efforts to seek advice of any kind on how to respond to Benny 90 claims. Yeah. This is a great paragraph right here. This is a great paragraph right here. So you have Benny getting Bitbender and Allen to testify under the threat of perjury, right? And now maybe these exist, right? Maybe this does exist. Maybe this evidence does exist, but they didn't present it. What they presented instead was Bitbender's affidavit and Allen's affidavit, right? Third, both Thurston and Benny have access to all the gala in the wallets at issue and thus could have pulled the rug out from BGP at any time, but didn't. So this is basically saying it's the Spider-Man meme, right? No you, right? Benny had access to it as well. He could have done it too. Okay. Benny's actions established he did not really feel powerless or that he was being held hostage. Indeed, instead, as he readily admits, he engineered a way to destroy the value of True North's gala and he simply burned it. Okay, so where is that at? If you can get him admitting that he didn't feel threatened because he decided we're going to get rid of it, I feel like that would, Okay, I don't know where that's at. Thus, there is no credible excuse for the 2.5-year delay, only an explanation. The True North Gala did not belong to BGP. BGP did not have the right to control it or how it was used. I mean, if that's right, yeah. This action, this motion, are after-the-fact figments of Benny's imagination designed to distract from his own ultra-vires acts. Any excusable delay alone is enough a reason to deny the motion. I mean, that is, you know, okay. And what he's quoting here is a case where finding delay of 1 year in seeking injunctive relief heavily weighs against finding imminent irreparable harm. So he's got a great point there. If they waited that long to do it, then, you know, you can't say it's an immediate threat. Benny's delay also rendered the relief he seeks moot. They used moot. I'm going to highlight moot. Benny's burn of the True North V1 Gala destroyed the value of any Gala in 17 of the wallets identified in the reports attached to the motion. See, in other words, the Gala in the 17 identified wallets is worthless. Second, the motion requests a freeze on 979 wallets of VASP. P1's motion at 18, but neither True North nor Thurston own or have controlled 979 wallets. So they're saying those wallets they identified are not his. Now, how do you prove that? I don't know. I don't know how you prove whose wallets they are. I mean, are they Thurston's? Maybe. I don't know. Again, I want to look into Kroll and make sure they're legitimate, right? Further, the owners of those wallets have not been before the court yet. So that's the thing. We're basing the fact that these wallets belong to Thurston off of Kroll's research. So how do we know for sure that these are Thurston's wallets, right? Because if they are, that's one thing. But if they are indeed not Thurston's wallets or True North's wallets, then that is a big deal, that them freezing this. And again, that's another reason why them waiting 2.5 years, you know, we don't know if that's really his. Benny has not established an irreparable injury, basically saying that I could pay him cash if I need to. And it mentions about what's irreparable. Benny has not established a substantial likelihood of success on his claim that BGP owns True North's Gala. In addition to failing an imminent irreparable injury, Benny has also not established and cannot establish a substantial likelihood of success on the merits. True North's Gala was not stolen from BGP Treasury. Instead, the facts establish that True North owned the Gala at issue and no BGP Treasury exists. Simply put, Thurston, as manager of True North, moved Gala earned and owned by True North's nodes from one set of wallets to another. Okay. And they're citing the evidence that Benny admits that he knew Thurston had moved the Gala when it occurred, and Benny did the exact same thing 2 months later. That doesn't really prove it to me, per se, that those wallets were True North's, but there is no evidence to support the claim that Gala moved by Thurston and Benny belonged to BGP Treasury. There is no such treasury. Okay. So again, if we can prove, let's say they did. Let's say we realize they had those multiple wallets, right? He keeps calling it a treasury, right? If they fail to prove documents from the shareholders or the board of directors or whatever saying that we are going to take the profits from the store and put them in these wallets for safekeeping, you know, if there's no official document, then is there really a treasury, or was that just something they did, right? Moreover, to his point about the taxes, if they don't mention any of the alleged Gala that was stolen in the treasury, that doesn't, if they're not filing taxes on this treasury, that's not good. He mentioned them being no smart contract about being deposited into the treasury. Further, the billions of Gala Benny now claims belong to BGP Treasury are not reflected anywhere in corporate documents. Yeah, so that's where I think he wins this argument, right? Is that there's no treasury. So they keep saying he took Gala's money, but he didn't take it because there's no treasury. Benny's allegations were true. The tax returns would reflect at least 10 billion Gala, but they do not. Excuse me. Similarly, the billions of Gala supposedly in the treasury also does not appear in either of the valuations of the company in 2021 and 2022. Okay. Gala does not appear in those records because, again, there was never a BGP treasury. Okay. He's repeating themselves. Okay. The balance of injuries weighs heavily against injunctive relief. So we're talking again about, let's see. There's no injury on Benny's side of the scale. Gala at issue was not company Gala. Transfers were legitimate, and such alleged injury is fully redressable via compensatory relief. And Benny himself demonstrated how little weight as he described the alleged harm by waiting over 2.5 years. Okay. All right. Requested relief would not be in public interest. Okay. So he's if the wallets that Kroll found are not Thurston's or True North's, then yes, there would be public harm by them freezing them because they don't belong to them. Benny is not entitled to his requested relief because he comes to the court with unclean hands. I love that that's an official thing that they're using. Like, hey, this dude's dirty, bro. This dude's dirty. This dude's dirty. Oh. The doctrine of unclean hands is based on the principle that equity will not aid a party whose conduct has been unlawful, unconscionable, or inequitable. Ooh. So if he can prove that, then there's a statute, a precedent for that. This principle is an ordinance that closes the door of court of equity with one tainted with unequitableness or bad faith relative to the matter it seeks relief. So you can't get relief if you've been doing dirty shit. I love it. Okay. There's no basis for expedited accounting or discovery because Benny cannot show any threat of irreparable harm, essential likelihood, success of the merits, or any of the elements required to obtain a temporary restraining order. There's no basis for this order. All right. All right. It would be moot because nothing else would go through. Okay. Motion be denied in its entirety. Boom. That's the conclusion, baby. That's the conclusion. Now, this was a 55-page document. Lord have mercy. Let's go see what we got. Let's zoom out. Okay. So, Exhibit 1 is actually 590. So that was the original document that Wright submitted. So we're not going to go over that. So he mentions things in his original filing. Okay. So was the end of the document? Yeah. Okay. That's the end of the document. Okay. Wright's opposition. Declaration of Wright Thurston in support of opposition to the motion. Okay. This has more stuff. Okay, let's compare the beginning of this to the beginning of this, right? Because we gotta get through the legal mumbo jumbo. All right. So these are both 589, right? This is opposition to motion, and this is declaration of Wright Thurston in support of opposition. So this is like from True North, and this is Thurston's official statement. He's over the age of 18, and he can testify. Okay. So if we compare this to what? These, right? So this is Wright. This is Wright's affidavit, if you want to call it, right? Because we have declaration of Jason Brink in support, right? So this is declaration of Wright in support. So this is a long ass document. Okay. Let's go full. I'm glad to know he's 18 years of age. Actually, I'm gonna go take a pee break real quick. I'll be right back. Sorry, I'm coughing in the damn microphone. All right. He's working at blockchain technology since 2015. Before he worked at BGP, he was engaged in crypto mining. None of this matters. Benny and I, as manager of True North, signed a founders agreement for BGP on January 1st, 2019. Okay? It's consistent with the shareholders agreement, which shares in BGP vest 100% to each party at the same date. Okay? Okay. Founders agreement says that they may earn dividends, distributions, salary, compensation, or other benefits which are personal rights and not subject to be shared with other parties to this agreement. BGP was established in January 16th, 2019. Been the only director since its inception. Okay, that's true. We know that Bender's wife is president, not director. Okay. As decentralized, they generated operation of founders nodes. Okay. From the outset, they limited the total number of 50,000. Right. We know that. Okay. And this is explaining that. This is rewards. Revenue stream come from the following. Free-to-play monetization, initial sale of blockchain assets to players, transaction fees on the resale, shareholder loans, or capital contributions. So they plan to make money off of you being able to resell the assets, and that's where OpenSea comes in. Okay? Have never contained any language informing customers that would establish a treasury. So again, we go back to this treasury, whether it exists or not, right? BGP and Sharemire and True North, later the Sandbox partners, as well as the owners, were entitled to hold their own private keys to their rewards. The exception to this was that Benny held the private keys to the FTs because they were harder to separate early in the company's operations. Z-Boy, hello, my friend. How's it going? Welcome, brother. How's your town going? Hope you're doing well. So let's highlight that. The exception is NFTs, which these aren't being talked about, right? All they're really caring about is the gala. So, additionally, Benny held private keys to certain gala that had been set aside for compensation to other executives. Okay, so this wallet includes rewards that belong to Benny True North employees and a fund for game development that BGP announced. So, okay, that's important. All this was controlled by one person, Benny. I don't know why you would allow that to happen, but here we are. In February 2021, I caused $8.6 billion of True North's earned gala to be transferred to 43 wallets to which Sharemire and I had access to private wallets, in which I only held keys. Benny was aware of the transfer. Indeed, we discussed making the distribution that led to the transfer early in the week. He commented to me, "We were going to be billionaires." Okay, so this is important. he's got receipts for this. Okay. See Exhibit D. Okay. Sharemire did not complain about the transfer, did not assert that the transfer was a theft, and did not claim that the gala was not earned by True North as substantiated. For his part, he also transferred several months later to wallets which only he had access. Of the $8.6 billion I transferred, approximately 5.5 were made useless by Benny when he, without board approval, initiated the burn. And he admits this action in the amended complaint. The $3.1 billion gala already transferred out before the burn were previously sold or transferred by True North. Neither I nor True North own or control the more than 990 wallets that Benny seeks to freeze. True copies of the following documents are attached in the declaration. We can finally get our founders agreement. It's about time we see this. Shareholders agreement. Beautiful. Relevant portions of the blockchain game partners financial model. Text conversation between WRIGHT Thurston and Benny. Blockchain game partners federal tax. Oh, he's putting the tax returns. Oh, IRS is coming, baby. Woo! IRS is coming. And then some, there we go. I declare under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Utah and the United States that the foregoing is true and correct. On September 11th, look at you, you mad lad, WRIGHT Thurston. All right. Founders agreement. We're going to develop and hold intellectual property, host software, and other services, collectively BGP. Okay. We'll earn revenue, cryptocurrency, legendary awards, and other consideration from the companies. Okay. Eric's 50%. And True North's 50%. Parties agree not to circumvent or compete with BGP companies in a manner to earn income, hold ownership votes, any of the sort. Okay, so they're agreeing not to fight each other. LOL. Notwithstanding, each party of this agreement may earn dividends, distribution salaries. Okay. This agreement may be terminated by mutual consent of all parties. So the only way they can get rid of this is by both agreeing. Any party to this agreement may resign or terminate its affiliation with any BGP at any time, and any vested ownership shall remain with the party, and all unvested ownership shall be divided into remaining parties. Okay. This agreement may be amended in writing by signed consent of all parties. No party may assign its rights or obligations without the prior written consent of all parties. That's important. Benny can't do anything without Thurston. Thurston can't do anything without Benny, right? In the event of any dispute claim, blah, 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 they will first attempt mediation, which they did, before a single mediator administered by the International Dispute Resolution under its mediation rules in Salt Lake City, Utah. Okay, so that's the mediation we saw in the Bennett Doctrine. Okay. Okay, notwithstanding the foregoing, they may bring shit to court. Okay? All disputes beyond mediation shall be litigated in the state or federal courts of Salt Lake City, Utah, USA. Which is why, even though they're incorporated in Wyoming, they're using the courts in Utah. And you can see here, we've got our signatures. Okay? Now, let me ask you something, ladies and gentlemen. You see this little signature right here? You see that? You see that right there? Let me ask you something. Let me ask you a little question right here. Does this look like this? Where's it at? Where'd I put it? Where'd I fucking put it? You kidding me? What'd I do with it? Oh, where did I put it? Oh, I know where I put it. Whoops. What does that signature look like this signature to you? Let me ask you something. Does that look like that? Does that look like that? I'll wait. You can answer, chat. Does that look like that? The answer is no. Of course it doesn't. Because Benny signed this document digitally. Now, I've done DocuSign recently in the past couple weeks. And you know what I do? I take my pen out of my phone. Like this. See my little pen here? And I fucking sign. Because I want it to be my signature. Because that's an auto-generated script signature. Know what I'm saying? So you could argue Benny didn't sign this, right? But here's the catch. Right here in this document, there is this hexadecimal code. And that is going to be a verified signature sent to whatever address and was signed. I guarantee you it's going to Benny's address. All right? So, just wanted to point that out. This is what Benny's real signature looks like. This is what his fake signature looks like. All right. Let's go. Exhibit B, shareholder agreement. Okay, this shareholder agreement, effective January 1st, 2019. Okay, let's go back to highlight. Okay, they need a supermajority. Okay. They can't get rid of any of it. They have to keep their shares. No. They can't sell, pledge, lien, encumber, distribute, or otherwise transfer, dispose of, and will not permit to be sold, encumbered, lien their shares. Okay? unless there's a supermajority. Okay? Exempt transfer. A shareholder may transfer either as a gift or through a sale shares owned by a shareholder to a trust, an entity, or any other, but it has to be verified by a supermajority. Okay? Being the 75%. Okay. Vesting. A shareholder becoming vested in shares of the company to pursue a vested period. Any of the invested shares may be repurchased by the company in accordance. So they've got to hold for a certain amount of time. Each shareholder shall become fully vested in the shares upon the consummation of sale of more than 50% of the issued shares. Okay, none of that's terribly important. Right of first refusal. I don't think any of this really matters. Once the notice comes to deliver copy. Okay. So they have to constantly stay in communication with the shareholders. The company can buy the shares. The other shareholders can get them. Okay. None of this really matters. Okay. Right of co-sale. They have the right but not the obligation to be included in a transfer. Okay. None of that's really matter. Bankruptcy. If any of the shares shall be levied upon, sequestered, administered by receiver of a bankruptcy, the holder thereof shall give the company prompt written notice. Whatever. Delivery of shares. Termination of rights of shareholder. Upon the closing of purchase of shares, upon payment, the selling shareholder shall promptly assign and deliver the applicable shares to the purchaser. All taxes transfer paid by the seller. Okay. Purchase price. Unless expressly provided otherwise herein, the purchase price of each share of the company or the shareholder elects to purchase pursuant, they can make up their own price. Okay. The value of the company shall be determined by one qualified independent appraiser selected by the company. So that's probably why they got that corner to figure out what the price was. Payment of purchase price. Okay, none of this matters. Term. The agreement shall terminate with respect to the shares of the company. Okay. This doesn't really matter. Additional shareholders. Any person who becomes a shareholder or any shares is required to affix their signature indicating the date and the space provided on this agreement, and thereafter shall have all the rights and obligations of a shareholder on this agreement. Okay? No rights to employment. So it doesn't allow you to get employed. That's fine. We don't care about that. Confidentiality. The company and each shareholder now owns and will hereafter develop, compile, own certain products, trade secrets. Okay? Confidential. Yep. Okay. Other than reach the section, okay. None of this matters. Each shareholder represents that it's acquiring and holding its shares for its own account and investment, and not to view or to sale in connection with distribution thereof. Okay. Okay. This is governed by Wyoming Center for Dispute. They mention this again. Salt Lake City. All right. The agreement shall set forth. Oh, no, provision. Okay. This all doesn't really matter. We don't care about this. Once again, Benny and Thurston. All right. Now, shareholders investing schedule. There you go. Right there, plain as day. All right. Exhibit C. Blockchain game partners. Financial model summary. They're going to sell nodes. 11 blockchain games over 7 years. At a cadence of about 2 games per year, with genres evenly split between mid-core RPG and broadly accessible simulation. Games will be cross-platform, including free-to-play monetization features, as well as blockchain game assets. Free-to-play would shift from 60-40 for the first games to 90-10 over time. Our company game development budget would include a buffer for prototypes and game projects. We would build world-class publishing, marketing, and analytics team in San Francisco. Spend about 25% of the game revenue on paid user acquisition to bring players into our game. Okay, that's interesting right there. We would spend about 25% of game revenue on paid user acquisition to bring players into our game. Let's see. I've got this in a window somewhere, do I not? Let's open with paint, because some of this seems pretty important. Okay. That's too big. Okay, we raised 250 million. That's too big. It's too light. Okay, coming from node sales. Okay, 11 blockchain games over 7 years, 2 games per year. Okay, cross-platform. No, I want to move this thing. There we go. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. Free-to-play monetization. That's not what I wanted. Free-to-play. Free-to-play monetization. So it goes from 60/40 to 90/10. So it's all just all assets. Okay. Prototypes and game projects. World-class publishing, marketing in San Francisco. 25% of game revenue on this. I mean, this is pretty big. Being paid shills. Revenue to blockchain game partners would come from 3 sources: traditional FTP, blockchain assets, and transaction fees. Node licenses would get a percentage of every blockchain transaction. Right? That's important. Okay. Starting out at 25% in year 1, stepping down to 7.5 by year 7. Node licenses would also be paid 7% of FTP revenue, BGP to players to cover servers, hosting for game state and other player data. Blockchain assets would turn about Blockchain assets would turn over about 3.3 times over the life of a game, with transaction velocity being highest in year 1 and decaying over time. The market performance of our 11 games is projected to be high, medium, and low cases. Top 25 and below. Let's delete this. I don't like that one. All right. Most players are required on mobile and move over to PC transacting block assets. Node licensees get paid in tokens, which appreciate at 10% a year. Okay, we're going to save this. All right. So that's all very important. All right, Exhibit D. Eric, blockchain game Jedi, last seen today, 12:05. So this is Thurston on the right. This is Benny on the left. Dude, we may already be billionaires on this deal. There you go. So that's when he was talking about Benny. Let's see. Let's see if we can find. Let's see if we can find it. Billion. Here we go. There it is. Excuse me. Let's put a bookmark. Billion. Perfect. Okay. Let's rename it Billionaires. Okay. And then let's go back down to where the exhibit is. So we're seeing Benny admit that we're going to be billionaires, or we might already be billionaires. But what's important is that billionaires exhibit. Exhibit. What's important is we don't have a time. We just have a time. We don't have a date. Right? That's the one that we don't have is a date. All right, Exhibit E. This is a tax form. Ooh, I love taxes, don't you? Let's save the current view as... No. That's not what I wanted. Let's save this as Exhibit... So we're going to call this Exhibit... What is this? D? Exhibit E. taxes 2020. Okay. Total income $1.4 million. Taxable income 669. Okay. Signature is president. Okay. So he's just showing the beginning of the tax return here, saying that the amount that was mentioned that was stolen is not mentioned here because it's just showing that amount. And this, I'm assuming, is some tax firm. Okay. Tax return client copy. All right. Blockchain game partners. Okay. Here's your 2020 income tax return. Be filed electronically. And then there you go. Here we go. Federal income tax summary. 1.3 gross receipts less returned. Rents. Taxes and licenses. The other deductions. They got a lot of deductions here. Look at that. Okay. Taxable income. All right. So what they're saying is none of what's mentioned in here. There's no treasure, no treasury, beginning assets, ending assets, rents. So again, accounts receivable, buildings and other assets, 800,000. Yeah. So there you go. Utah net taxable. So this is all taxes in Utah. Okay. So again, none of this shows the amount of gala that was mentioned in the original. But basically what he's saying is there's no mention of a treasury, and the amount that you're claiming was in this treasury is not being mentioned on the taxes. And if Benny's the one that signed for that, well, I mean, I'm not an expert here, but that sounds like tax fraud. All right. This is highlighted. Other current assets, 487,447. Okay. Purchases for 50,000. How'd they have it 50,000 even? That doesn't sound real. Okay. So more tax information, blah, blah, blah. Again, the point of this is that they don't have this treasury listed in the tax return. Okay. Bank charges, commissions, Ethereum gas fees, 185,000. Jesus Christ. Game development. These are all their deductions. Development expense, contract services. Okay, carryover generated from this. Taxable incomes, minus 669. Okay, basic attention token. Gala. They've only got $301,000 worth of gala. So that's not billions of gala, right? All right. Scrolling down. Total net operating loss deduction, 1.8. Did they get taxes back? Oh, Lord of mercy. All right, Exhibit F is tax return 20. Exhibit F, taxes 2021. All right. So again, now our numbers are way bigger. There's way bigger numbers. Look whose name's right there. Oh, whose name is that? Whose name is that? Whose name is that? Is that Benny's name? Oh no. Oh no, Benny. Oh no, Benny. Okay, we have much more here. Total assets, $731 million. That's a lot of cash, bro. That's a lot of cash money. All right? So there's obviously a discrepancy between 2020 and 2021, but 2021 is when Gala took off. So you'd expect there to be more here. I'm assuming there's no mention of Treasury. Okay. All right. Not seeing anything. Blockchain game partners. Okay. All right. Beautiful. All good things. All tax stuff. Certificate signature. Ooh. Ooh, location, Kailua Kona. What? Benny in Hawaii. Let's look that up, shall we? Benny and the Jets. Kailua Kona. You guessed it, baby. Benny on the Jets. Benny's in Hawaii. Benny's in Hawaii, bro. Benny's in Hawaii. Oh, he was in Hawaii when he signed this fucking tax return. Are you kidding me? Bruh. Oh, that's beautiful. Benny in Hawaii filing the taxes, baby. Wow. Oh, man. Okay, common stock valuation. Okay. This is all going to be gibberish. Okay, common stock as of Gala Games is at 34 cents. Okay. Let's do excuse me. This is exhibit what? G? Okay. Exhibit G. Carta valuation 2021. Okay. So notice this date is August and May, right? So that would have been after the alleged theft, right? So current value allegedly is 76 million. Okay. Okay. Revenue 5 million. Cash and cash equivalents 35 million. 111,111,111 shares. That's a lot of shares. All right. Okay. So these are their comparable statistics to other companies. Okay. All right. Excuse me. Lord. Excuse me. All right. Equity value rounded 76 million. Okay. Token proceeds. Here we go. 2 million discounted cash flow. So these are the months. 2 million a Gala pretty much every month. Okay. And the value based off of that as the price changes. Okay. And then they start to get more Gala per month and the value begins to decrease continually still. And then more Gala, less discount. Okay, once again, more money, less money. And again, more money. Oh, but then it drops off right here on 76. All right, value of unissued tokens. Unissued tokens is 43 million right here. Okay. Common stock equivalent results, the value of all the shares is 76 million. Okay. And more comparing. Appraiser bio and credentials. Okay, great. I don't care about any of this. Appendix. I don't care. Okay. The GDP, I don't care about GDP. All right. Don't care about any of this. I thought I saw something highlighted. My bad. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. Just scrolling through. Bro, they got math in here, bro. I don't care about math. Fuck, I care about math for. This is way too much math. All right. Exhibit H. is their valuation in 2022? All right. Why isn't it letting me make a new bookmark? There we go. Exhibit H Carta valuation 2022. Okay. So now it's valuated at 486 million. Okay. So if we come here, we're going to put a bookmark right here. And that's going to be 2021 76 mil. Okay. Then we're going to come to 2022 and bookmark this. 2022, it's 486 mil. Okay. And again, he's showing all this to say that there's no no treasury, right? Summary of cryptocurrency assets. They've got 509 million tokens, according to this. Okay? He's alleging that he stole billions of tokens, right? But here, all we have is 509 million tokens listed. So how could he have stolen billions if there's only millions? Okay, and they show how much Ethereum they've got. They show how much Bitcoin they've got. They've got plenty of Tether. 21 million Tether. Almost 2 million Binance. And then $48 in Dash. I'm sure glad they put Dash on here. Okay. Net revenue 722. Cost of goods sold. Gross profit. Yeah. Look at that gross margin of profit. 99.9% profit margin. You shitting me? Fuck out of here, bro. Revenue 116 million. All right, total assets 584. Total liabilities 48. Total equity and liabilities 584. Okay? And then outstanding shares. Now they've got more shares. It went up because they added options in, apparently. Right? Did they not? They didn't have options in the last one, right? Yeah, they didn't have any options in 2021, so now they've added options in. So let's go ahead and bookmark that. We're going to call this 2021 no options, just shares. And then we're going to go to 2022. And you're going to see, boom, now we have options. 2022, 10.5 mil options. For a total of 121 million shares. Okay. And then this is all more of the same gobbledygook, which we don't care about. Okay, new appendix. Excuse me, this is the appendix for this. More GDP and shit we don't care about. I saw Blizzard, did I not? Yeah, they mentioned Blizzard. Oh, Blizzard. All right, more formulas. Okay, that's it for this document. Okay, that's it. We got some evidence there. No treasury. No mention of all this alleged billions of coins that were supposedly the company's, which I think that's ultimately what he's going to be able to prove. For what it seems like is that they had a valuation of the company done in 2021 and 2022, and both of these valuations do not include billions of tokens. So if they're not in the valuation of the company, billions of tokens, then either you're lying or they don't, or they never belong to the company, or you're hiding the coins, or they don't belong to the company, right? It's one of the two. Either they don't belong to the company or you're hiding them. Okay? So now, let's put this back here. And let's go to our affidavits. Okay? And we've got a declaration of Stephen Waters in support of the opposition. Stephen Waters worked for BGP and he did marketing. Okay? They met with Benny and they were selling him on the technology. On June 2019, I interacted with Jason Brink when he bought arcade nodes from BGP as a customer. He did not work with BGP until September 2020. Brink did not participate in the early discussions about anything. Based on my interactions with Travis Allen, he was contracted to work with our team after completion of a development boot camp. To my recollection, he had no prior employment experience working as a developer and had no experience developing blockchain applications. Allen only worked on forked copies of the Green blockchain and the Connect code. All right. Brant Frank. Working on blockchain technology, cryptocurrency space. He worked for the Block Brother blockchain platform. Okay. He designed all the initial scopes of BGP. Vice President of Engineering for BGP Software and Development. Jeff Wild. I worked closely with Wild. I interviewed and hired Travis Allen, Mason Gallen, and Jaden Johnson, among others. 2019, the blockchain was cloned to launch the Gala Games blockchain. The code contributed to Gala Games, including use of architecture. The platform was cloned from the formation of BGP technology and had many completed features before any of the named developers were hired in 2018 to assist in further developing. Okay. I'd already been working with Benny, and Thurston decided to form Gala Games. Allen was hired as a full stack developer. Allen states that only he, Gallen, and Shermeyer were involved in creating the distribution model. This is okay. So this is where it comes into play. He's testifying that Allen is lying. Gallet distribution model is cloned directly from an existing coding distribution software created for another project, which was stored in a private code repository. This distribution model as part of the platform was created as early as 2017. Shermeyer, Allen, Gallen played no role in its creation. Ooh. Okay. To the extent the original model was modified and then extensively discussed and ultimately designed by me, Wild, and Stephen Miller, among others. For as long as I've been associated with BGP, Allen, Gallen, and Johnson only made minor modifications. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. The model did not include BGP owning nodes or nor the creation of company treasury. So they're reaffirming this. Initially, there was a single wallet for the Gala distributions owned by True North and Benny at the following address. Okay, that's the central wallet. That wallet was always understood to be owned by both True North and Benny based on the Gala they personally owned as node owners. It was never intended to be a company wallet. Okay. Can we pull this this number here? I don't want this. How do I click? Let me click. There we go. All right. This is what I want. I want that wallet address. Let's check that wallet address out, shall we? Let's slap that bad mamma jamma into Arkham. Okay. So this is the Gala Store wallet. So they turned this wallet that was originally now is the Gala Store wallet. They turned this wallet that was originally just earning the distributions from Benny and True North into the store wallet. Also, people are still buying FTs. What is wrong with you motherfuckers? Why are y'all still buying FTs, bro? Fuck's wrong with y'all? All right. In my current role as, let's go back full screen. Current role as Chief of Blockchain Security for various blockchain projects. I'm responsible for auditing and research and personal knowledge exchange which True North have transacted. Okay. I've reviewed the material included in the Kroll investigation, including list of wallets. Neither Thurston or True have any accounts on Binance or Coinbase. They use Unify or Genesis. So he's attesting that those wallets are not there as identified by Kroll. And then he says that's perjury. Got it. It's pretty big. It's pretty big. All right, Jennifer Miller, person performing bookkeeping. Ooh, bookkeeper. Here we go. Bookkeeper. Information contained is my work for BGP, a review of accounts. Okay. BGP sold or allocated 20,000 nodes during the first year of the distribution of Gala digital rewards. At this time, they each owned 7,000. Another 1,000 were allocated to Connect United, a company that had partnered with BGP on intellectual property to sell the nodes to customers, which was integral to the success. 5,000 nodes were sold to users. Initially, a single wallet was set up, the store wallet. So they turned this wallet that was initially for True North and True North and Benny to get their distributions into the store wallet. I was sent spreadsheets called Galametrics, which were authored by Schermeyer. Okay. Schermeyer directed the revenue for BGP would be earned in 4 ways. Did not include any expected revenue from mining of Gala tokens. Okay. Mentions it here. There's the spreadsheet. Okay. On September 11th and 12th, 2020, Gala was initially minted to the Ethereum blockchain. This was a bulk mint that distributed Gala to wallets based on the mining performed during the 14 months. September 11th, 1 million Gala were minted to the ERC20 blockchain, pursuant to the contract, this to the joint wallet. On September 12th, an additional 19 billion Gala was minted to the same joint wallet. An excerpt of the spreadsheet is here. Masternode 0, 1 million. Masternode 0, 19 billion at 0.001. Woo, that's a lot of money. To mitigate the single point of failure, having a significant amount of Gala in one. True North and Benny caused 19 billion Gala to spread out from the joint to 99 wallets. Wow, so we have 99 wallets now. Thought it was 43. I thought it was 43. Now it's 99. We're getting spicy. Because you know what the best part about all this is? Bitbender's testimony and Travis Allen's testimony don't got receipts, baby. And here we are. We got receipts, baby. We got receipts. Ooh, we got spices. It's spicy. Why is it spicy? Oh, it's spicy, baby. It's spicy. Ooh. You know what I think this means, ladies and gentlemen? I think it's time for me to crack open another brewski. That's what I think. That's what I think, ladies and gentlemen. Also, this is your hourly reminder to do your coin supply, do your free bitcoin.io, refresh your Brave browser, get your free cryptos while you can, my friends, before Benny freezes your assets. Do it now. I'm going to drink some water while I wait. There's a lot of talking I've been doing. Man, I've been talking a lot. Jeez. Good vibes is my secret code. And free Bitcoin. And then refresh Brave browser. There we go. All right, that's done. It's now time, ladies and gentlemen. It's time. Ooh. All right. It's time for a crispy boy. 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 Ooh, ooh.
Is this you talking or the liquor?
Randy, I am the liquor.
Ne'er a true word spoken, my friends. Let's go. All right. On December 31st, 2020, Benny, or someone at his direction, transferred 107 million gala to his personal wallet. That looks like a wallet address, doesn't it, to you, ladies and gentlemen? Let's, can I copy that? Nope. Now I can. Ooh-wee. I mean, that's Benny's wallet. I know that's Benny's wallet, but we need to look for the date. That's what's important. Okay. So we need to go search history now. So what was the date mentioned? The date mentioned was December 2020. December what? 31st. December 31st. Look, there you go. There it is. There it is. Look. December 31st. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. There it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. December 31st. There you go. He moved ETH. Okay. From his wallet, he went to Uniswap router and moved a bunch of ETH out. Okay. But this doesn't show the gala. This doesn't show the gala. Let's go to Etherscan and look at it that way. So December 31st, 2020. He wanted to give himself a New Year's Eve gift, you know? That's no big deal. That's no big deal. Advanced features. Okay. We want age. Okay. From 12/30, we'll do 12/30/2020 to 12. We'll do 1/1/2021. Okay. Here we go. Benny sent Ethereum to the Gala Store wallet. Okay. This was the 31st. Transferred money out of his wallet to Uniswap. I don't see Gala though. I don't see Gala. Let's check this transaction. Okay, here we go. From benefactor to Uniswap V2 Gala 2. So he sent 20 million Gala to Uniswap for wrapped ether, and then sent 2 million in, what is that? Uniswap V2 ETH? No, that's the current price. I don't want current price. Sent 0.27 ETH. So he got wrapped ether. He moved Gala to wrapped ether. And then he did an even bigger one. 102. Here we go. Here's the 102 million Gala. Here we go. 102 million Gala. Boom, right here. 102 million Gala from his wallet to Uniswap for V2 Gala. Gala to wrapped ETH. There you go. So that's why that drop happened in his wallet right here. That's why that happened, because he transferred Gala and through Uniswap to ETH. So he didn't sell it on an exchange. He transferred Gala to ETH. Okay. Oh, Benny. Benny wanted, listen, there's nothing wrong with that. Benny wanted to give himself a nice little New Year's gift. That's all. That's all it was. Okay. Assuming a modest price of this at the minting in September generated $29 million in revenue or value. None of this was recognized as revenue by BGP for the earning of receiving these 19.6 billion Gala. Right, because this wasn't in the valuation. As far as I understand, BGP's 20 returns, which I assisted in preparing, do not recognize any of these 19 billion. So this is key to Thurston's argument that these tokens were not Gala's, they were his, right? If they're not on the tax returns and they're not in the valuation, that's no good. Okay. Based on conversations I had with Thurston, I understand that in February 21, in connection with the corporate acquisition Sandbox, they divided the contents into 99 joint wallets. So February 2021, 99 joint wallets. February 3, let's do this. Can I make a link to this? We're going to make a link to this transaction right here. Boom. There we go. Now I've got that saved. Okay. On February 3rd, True North would like to transfer part of its share of the Gala from the joint wallets into 43 wallets solely controlled by True North. Okay. The True North wallets. Benny then transferred part of his share of the Gala from the joint wallets into wallets solely controlled by him, the Sharemeyer wallets. BGP did not have sufficient revenue-generated Gala to close the acquisition of Sandbox Games. Thus, in connection with the acquisition, True North and Benny caused 67 million Gala to be sent from 4 jointly controlled wallets to Sandbox principals. The transaction was recorded as coming out of BGP's shareholder personal Gala holdings, True North and Benny's respectively. A true episode of the spreadsheets. Okay, here we go. So we got receipts of the transaction. This is them paying for Sandbox. Okay. So we got wallet addresses here. Eric Gala app, Eric 4, Eric 3, Eric 1. So now we have some Benny wallets. Ooh, ooh, it's getting spicy. We got some wallets here, baby. Oh, now how do I get these out of here? That's what I need to know. How do I get this out of here? I'm gonna have to type this, aren't I? Fuck. I don't want to type all this. Okay, what's the date mentioned? Okay, this was them sending to... So, what's interesting is the date on this is the 15th of him sending the money to his own wallet. But then we have on the 15th here, 15th here, 15th, 15th, and 12. Eric 1. You know what? I'm just going to suck it up and we're going to type it in. All right? We're going to man up and I'm going to type this shit in. Do it for you guys. Okay, Eric 1. Doing it for the memes, baby. 0x 6b d4 3b 3 c5 b 8 1 9 7 c 8 lowercase d 3 b c f f b 1 e 4 8 d 2 1 2 c 8 4 7 e 9 4 9 7. Okay, there we go. So we need to label this as Eric 1 so that there's some continuity here. Okay, how do I label it? I forgot how I label it. How do I label? How do I label this? I forgot. How do I label it? Oh, here we go. No, that's not what I wanted. Because I have the way to do private name tags, right? Oh, right here. There we go. Right in my fucking face. Eric 1. Right, to exhibit. Who is this chick? Jennifer? Jennifer Miller. Okay. So the last activity was 34 days ago. 0.0054 ETH coming in. Old Gala token address. So all the activity was going out. So what transfer in particular we were looking for? We're looking for April 15th, 2021. April 15th, 2021. Here we go. A transfer from this wallet into this wallet. So that's the transaction they're talking about, right? How much was it? 162 million. This wallet's got some action. It's got 45,000 US dollar coin, 146 wrapped ETH, 3 billion BAT tokens. Why they got so much BAT tokens, I wonder. Circle. There we got some circle. A bunch of ETH being moved around. So this is this has got to be one of Benny's too. Let's see if it's on this list. No, it's not. So here's another. Let's go ahead and copy this and let's go to Arkham and see what we see, and then we'll pull up the other one. Oh, it's so spicy, ladies and gentlemen. It's so spicy. So spicy. It's so spicy. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted either. Here we go. That's what I wanted. No, that's the wrong one. Well, let's plug this one into Arkham, and then we'll plug the other one in. Okay, so we got to go back. This is the one we want. Okay. Another Arkham tab. Here we go. All right. So all of a sudden, there's a huge transfer on April of this year. Interesting. Interesting. Some ETH was transferred in. All right, visualize. Holy shit. Look at this. November 30th, 2021. $125 million in this wallet. Jesus Christ, man. 9 figures in this fucking wallet, dudes. Woo-wee! Oh, baby. Now, this has to be something for Gala. This has to be a Gala wallet for it to have that much. This much. Look, here's some Benefactor. Look, here's Benefactor. Yeah, this got to be like the store wallet or whatever. Something at the store. Benefactor got sent 2.67 million, though. Oh, did he? Benefactor sent 2.67 million USDC to this address. And then he was sent ETH. Oh, man. All right, so this wallet just has OpenSea. Just small transactions. That's it. That's it. Nothing to see here. All right. Back to it. So, additional transfers from the 99 joint wallets were made to some individuals as well as accounts to centralized exchanges. These were not recorded as expenses for BGP, thus saying that this is not BGP money. On March 1st, 2021, a segregated wallet was funded by True North and Benny with 2 billion Gala from joint wallets, the segregated wallets. These represented 55 million investment for BGP projects, so that, to my understanding, in the event of economic downturn, the project would have funding beyond revenue. So they did have some foresight. Wow. This wallet was recorded as shareholder capital contributions and constituted only the company wallet funded by True North Channel. Okay. And then we have transaction details. We got more receipts, baby. Gala old token. Look at that. So again, Thurston's got receipts. Benny has Bitbender and this guy talking. I'm just saying. Based on my review of blockchain records by April 15, 2021, there was more than 30 billion Gala in circulation. BGP continued to derive revenue from product sales, including Gala. It was routinely liquidated through this Gala through Brink's account at crypto exchange Binance. Huh. That's interesting. Bitbender says he's not involved in this at all. Bitbender's got nothing to do with this. Oh, really? Oh, really? So wait. Company assets were routinely liquidated through Jason Brink's account at crypto exchange Binance. Isn't that interesting? He's got nothing to do with it, right? So spicy. This is bookmark worthy, to be honest. Bitbender Binance. Boom. From September 16th. He's got nothing. Guys. This is all alleged. From September 16, 2021 through June 13, 2022, BGP roughly liquidated 2.1 billion Gala for around 515 million and 2,000 ETH worth 4.2. On around June 29, 2022, BGP sales revenue diminished to the point where the company needed additional funding. Benny told True North he was contributing 200 additional Gala to BGP and requested True North to contribute the same amount. A true screenshot. Oof, man. Whoever knows who this Jennifer is, but boy, she's got the spice. We got more transactions right here. True North promptly contributed the requested 200 million Gala from one of the True North wallets to BGP. This roughly equated to 11.3 million at time of transfer. BGP continued to liquidate revenue Gala had earned through product sales to pay for operations. Beginning on June 2022, BGP also began to liquidate 2 billion Gala in the segregated wallet. A true excerpt of the spreadsheet depicting these liquidations here. Once again, Binance. Oh, it's so... We just don't have the real numbers, right? We don't have the real numbers. We don't have the full transactions. I wish we had the full, but here's what's important. Binance account used for swap. Bitbender had nothing to do with this. BGP continued liquidating at Genesis until the wallet was completely depleted in January 2023. So they began selling. Imagine that. Gala Genesis Exchange. Now, whose Gala Genesis Exchange wallet is that? Okay, Gala Chest 1, Eric. Gala Chest 5, Eric. Gala Chest 2, Eric. They've got so many wallets, they don't know what to do with them all. After the segregated wallet was liquidated, Benny began liquidating funds from the Sharemeyer wallets. Sharemeyer was transferred in excess of 1 billion Gala from the joint wallets without authorization from True North. I declare under penalty of perjury under the United States of America, the foregoing is true and accurate. Jennifer Miller coming in here clutch, boy. Coming in here clutch. Woo! Woo! The old Spice Queen. We're going to have a new title for Jennifer. She's the Spice Queen. Motherfucking Spice Queen in this bitch, bro. She's goddamn running trade routes up in this bitch. In excess of 1 billion Gala from joint wallets without authorization from True North. That's huge. That's Benny accused. That's Benny doing what he accused Thurston of. Woo! Spicy, baby. We spicy in here. Getting spicy. Spicy. Okay, Stephen Miller. He helped work with Green. Okay. Helped with the development of BGP. Worked closely. Okay, there was never any discussion about the creation of a company treasury. To my knowledge, there was never a company treasury. Jason Brink purchased 5 arcade nodes as a customer at the Connect marketing event, which I presented about Connect, Green Blockchain, and Arcade later turned to Gala. Brink was not under contract to work with above projects and no public information about them. To my knowledge, Brink was not a full-time contractor until August 2020. Around the same time, Block Brothers Connect teams were helping BTP operate their own. Okay? Travis Allen was a newer developer who contracted work. To my knowledge, no previous blockchains. Okay. He wouldn't have had an understanding because he didn't participate in the creation of systems. Instead, he was given instructions on what to build and was guided by senior director. So they're basically trying to, say that these guys don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Right? Right? Okay. There we go. All right. That's everything, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, our biggest thing here is the affidavit from Jennifer Miller, coming through with the saltiness and the receipts. I'm assuming if you add up all of this, you'd get a billion, over a billion Gala. So I'm assuming that's where we're getting that billion from. There's a lot here. There's a lot here. I'm going to try and condense this down and make a video on it. I think I've got some pretty good highlights here. I think in summation, what do we have? Thurston is alleging that there was no central treasury, there was no bylaws, there was no agreed upon anything by the shareholders or the directors or anything to create a treasury. And so the Gala that he moved was his Gala / True North's Gala, and Benny is lying about that. And the fact that Benny took 2.5 years to bring this to court is evidence that it wasn't what he claims it is. And then, we have all this evidence of moving things around. We have Bitbender, who's not involved at all. Bitbender's not involved at all, but they were funneling money through his Binance account. I don't know how that works. I'm not a legal expert or a finance expert, but that if anybody wants to ask Bitbender on Twitter since he blocked me, or go ask him on Discord. But some people brought up earlier in the chat that they got real quiet lately. They got real quiet, which hopefully just means they're listening to their legal counsel and shutting the fuck up, but also could mean that we've got more things out in the air. So I'm going to try and get this out today before I go to class. Keep a lookout for it. If you guys find this interesting, please share it. Again, this is all allegedly, right? But for the first time, we have some real receipts that are pertinent to the information at hand. And we're going to go from here. So I'm going to end it off here. B-Rob, a whole pile of shitstorm. Yeah, it's a shitstorm for sure. Again, this is what I'll say. I think the fact that Thurston had his lawsuit ready first means that he had all of this ready, right? He had all this ready to go. So I think that doesn't make him right. That just makes him, more prepared, I guess. But yeah, it definitely seems like there's enough evidence here, in my opinion, for the judge to not grant the temporary restraining order. I think the big thing is that it's been 2.5 years and they didn't do anything about it until now. So I think that's big. I think that's really big. So that might be what swings the determination of whether or not, excuse me. Again, I didn't go through all the Kroll stuff in detail. That'll have to be another video. But Kroll might not be wrong, but if they are wrong to the point of Thurston's response, you'd be freezing people's assets that have nothing to do with this. And if they can't prove that the stuff was stolen or that those wallets belong to Thurston, then I don't think you can freeze those assets. So we'll see where this goes. I appreciate you guys being here. I love you. I'm gonna go try and get a little nap in, but before I go to bed, I'm gonna try and get a script up for the video, try and get that recorded and get that out to you guys this morning. Worst case, it'll be later today, so just keep a lookout for it. I got class at 9, so other than that, I hope you're all doing well. When I get back from class tomorrow, I'll probably stream again and do some. I guess I'll do Town Star. I guess I'll do Town Star. So I love all of you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you may be. I'm Lycan Warlord, the Stash. Love you. Take care.